Welcome to the chat with the champions. And in today's episode, we have one such champion here, Kris Menon, or Kris Menon, as he likes to be called. Now, he needs no introduction, but as a formality, I'll say he's one of Australia's top mortgage brokers, rated by one of the 20 top brokers by Rate My Agent. Kris has been in the mortgage business, or as we say, the home loan industry, for about 16 years. He's served more than 2,000 customers, and his yearly turnover has reached 200 million in terms of loans. So a very, very good growth of 18% year on year. So today we're going to meet and talk to Kris and understand what has he done to come to this point, and also understand his life and his philosophy in life. So Kris Menon, welcome to Chat with the Champions.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
Perfect. And as they say, let's start from the start. So let's start from the beginning. So tell us about, where you're born, your early childhood, and your upbringing.
I was born in Mumbai. Mom is from Mumbai, Maharashtra, and my dad is from Kerala. And so I was born in Mumbai, and that's where I had my initial school.
Perfect. So now we mentioned schooling. So tell us a bit about your education over the years.
Okay. So we studied in St. Anthony's, which is in Santa Cruz, in Mumbai, and then we moved from year 7 to Kalina Education.
Yes.
And we finished our year 10 over there.
Oh.
After that, we applied for telco. Tatas were looking for apprentices.
Yes.
So we got into that, and I got a trade called Tool and Die Maker, which is a 4-year apprenticeship thing.
Yes.
And I finished my studies over there.
Oh.
After I finished there, then after finishing and started working for telcos, I moved into diploma in materials management in Pune.
Wow.
Which I've done that.
Yeah.
So that's my study based in India.
So fabulous. So you had good primary, secondary education in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Then I think I know you've gone and done that apprenticeship in Tata Motors, which I think is about 4 years. And I think Tool and Die Maker has always been the top vocational qualification. So getting selected for that talks about your aptitude a lot. And then obviously you've done the diploma of materials management. Now, I know you migrated to Australia in about 1992, if my memory serves me right. Now, obviously you've spent a substantial amount of time in India. So tell us, what were you doing in India before migrating to Australia?
I was working in Tata's from 1983 to 1992. And from 1986 onwards, we did a small project with Vijay Papad, which is a Mahila Udyog in India.
Yes.
Ladies Corporation.
Yeah.
And they used to do Sasa soaps, agarbattis and this thing. So I used to be their wholesaler right from Deo Road to Lonala.
Wow.
And we grew their business by 24.
Yeah.
And so that's what we are doing. So apart from Tata's, working at Tata's, coming out and doing this like a franchise business, which was based on customer service, there's a good brand backing. So that's what we were doing. Yeah.
Perfect. So for the listeners who probably don't understand the geographic India, I think from traveling from Mumbai to Pune, there's this patch which Kris talks about from Deo Road to Lonavala.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And obviously people know Lonavala, Khandala. And so from that, you were living in Talegaon, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. So that was you. So you were doing a full-time job in a technical field, but on the side you were doing like a small distribution agency and selling detergents, and you've got papadums and all of that stuff. So it looks like it was going well for you then.
Yeah, it was doing very well. Initially the turnover had to be 50 to 100,000 per month.
Wow.
We were doing 500,000 every month.
Wow. So that's the early business experiment you were doing there.
Exactly.
So it was going so well.
Yeah.
So when and why did you decide to migrate to Australia?
So always used to like Australia as a country because they have the same sports like India used to have.
Perfect.
And Australia used to always beat us at that time.
Yes.
So I used to always like the lush fields they have.
Okay.
So it was a gag.
Yes.
So, but one day I was traveling from, I used to go to my sister's house in Chebur.
In Mumbai, yeah.
In Mumbai.
Yeah.
So I used to go there on Wednesday, come back to Thursday, because Friday you have to go to work.
Yes.
So I used to catch a train which is called Siagat Express. Yeah. So I was traveling from Dadar, and then I was sitting in a seat, and this guy in front, I did not have money to buy a paper.
Yeah.
The guy in front had money, and he was reading it, and I saw over there was a small column which said this is in 91 June.
Yes.
Travel to Australia in 3 months, ring us.
Oh.
So I took out my paper and pen, wrote it down, got down at Kandala, took another train, went back to my sister, and she was shocked, like, what are you doing here again? I said, no, I've decided I want to go for this ad which says you can migrate to Australia. And then I rang the guy, I got an appointment with them, and the lady looked at my papers and said, you can do it in 2 months or 3 months.
Wow.
So after that, I got another train, came back to telco, Tata.
It's a Pune, yeah.
To Pune.
Yes.
And again, then got this group which we have together. A lot of these youngsters were all together.
Yes.
And presented to them that, hey, this is what is happening. In Taj Mahal, there's a lady, we can get a visa.
Yeah.
So collectively, there were like 7 or 8 people and we all applied together and got the initial visas pretty quickly, which was
fabulous. What an amazing story. So if I may summarize that, so that our listeners can get a grip of that, is so you were traveling after visiting your sister, traveling back to the city of your work.
Yep.
And on the train, you saw a random person holding a newspaper with an ad migrate to Australia within 2 months. It caught your attention. Then you went to a station which is Khandala, which is my hometown as well.
Yeah.
And then you got a train back to Mumbai.
Yeah.
And you basically you saw something, you acted on it straight away.
Correct.
And not only did you do that, you also then came back and you told all your friends.
Yes.
And I'm sure some of the friends are here.
All of them were
perfect. So see, so you not only did you do good with your life, you also helped them.
Yeah.
So again, that sort of, and I've known you for years, and that's exactly your character. That if you find something good, you tell everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. So excellent. That's a really fantastic story. So you came here in 1992.
Yeah.
And your business really started in 2006.
Yeah.
So that's approximately a 14-year gap there. So what were you doing here in those 14 years?
So the first year we came, I worked in B&D Australia for 2 years.
Yeah.
As a process worker.
Okay.
So we used to make some units for the roller door. After that, I joined a company in Marrickville called TRW. So I was there from 1994 to 2005. And then that company got closed, so we got retrenched. And then from there, we went to a company which makes cigarettes.
British Tobacco, you mean?
British American Tobacco.
America, yeah.
Yeah, British American Tobacco. I was there from 2005 to 2012 over there. And that's finished my working life in Australia.
Okay, fabulous. So then what prompted you to come into this mortgage industry?
It was a very simple thing. In 1998, when we bought our first property, we were not. We had a good person who came to our home and told us that loan is done. But she only talks 2 things. One, she said, my wife is very pretty because she was wearing a red sari.
Yes.
And then she said, I love Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh, fair enough.
She never talked about loan. She never talked about repayment. She never talked about interest. She never talked about fees. And 1 year later, I rang her. She said, oh, ring 132224.
Yes.
I would prefer. Then I said to myself, if I become a broker, I'll be informative. I'll be transparent. I will give all things to the client.
Yes.
Sort of that way.
So you're doing all what she didn't do for you.
Exactly.
So basically then you as a customer saw a problem in the market, which every other person taking a loan might be feeling, and then you turn that into a business in a way.
Exactly.
So I'm sure you obviously had a good think about it.
Yeah.
So now you would have started part-time, I would say.
Exactly.
And then you went. So tell us a bit about that journey very briefly.
Part-time was a little bit hard because I used to work at 6 to 2. Wow. And then I used to drive home.
So you had a full-time job, which was pretty busy, and then you were doing the part-time, yes.
I used to reach home by 3. And then from 3 to 11, I used to work on my part-time business for 6 years.
Wow.
So 2006 was the first year. So it was minimum turnover. We traveled to Singapore with that money. 2007 was another a little bit better year. So we traveled to Thailand, Bangkok and everywhere. So we used that money for our holidays. And then 2012, suddenly the money and the business started picking up. Yeah. And then I started understanding like, wow, this can be a full-time job. So I quit then my job.
So to put 6 years of doing it part-time to then jumping into that. So I think the listeners who are thinking of that, I'm sure you're taking some notes from this. Yeah. No, but even in that, I know we've spoken offline about this, but there were times you felt that maybe you should not continue with the business.
Yes.
So tell us, about those times.
After 2 years, the first 2 years were a little bit tough because product knowledge is king in this industry. Okay. And I did not have that product knowledge. So what used to happen was I did not have the correct answers or the instant answers which some brokers have.
Yes.
So what happened was people used to come, have a discussion, and then I used to never see them.
Oh, yes.
So after 2 years, I was a little bit frustrated, tired. So then I rang the best broker in Sydney.
Yeah.
His name is Justin Duboff.
Yeah.
And he's still the best in Sydney.
Justin, if you're listening.
He was the best before. He is the best now, and he'll be the best in the future.
Yes.
So I rang him. He said to me, Kris, I've got 18 minutes. Talk to me.
Okay.
So I said to him that this ABC is my problem, and I'm just about to give up. He said to me, listen, it took 2 years to gather so much.
Yeah.
Stay. Give 1 more year. Me in 1 year.
Yes.
And he spoke to me for 18 minutes. We spoke like 9 and 9. And he said to me, you're coming from India. Every Indian is very smart, very cluey, knows the market well. So he said, if you can sustain and pick up knowledge, you will be ahead. And that provided me the ammunition to stay.
Yes.
And that's where I am today.
So what a profound thing to say by Justin.
Yeah.
And what a great thing for you to grasp that in the right way. So basically, if I'm saying it right, he's told you that you've done the hard yards.
Yeah.
And now is the time when you will start to, be going good.
Yeah.
So if you quit now, you will never.
Yeah.
And that's what so would you consider Justin as an informal mentor then in a way?
I would say there are many mentors.
Many mentors. Yeah. So Justin is one.
The one ideal would be second.
Perfect.
Tom Panos, a key person, number 3 in the world.
Wow.
And now I've got another mortgage broker of McGrath. Sorry, not a McGrath, of Aussie Home Loans, who is Ross. So I've got 3-4 different mentors at different stages of life, and they have guided me.
Yes.
Tom Panos made me jump in a decision one day in 2012. He said, you have either to jump to make it happen. So
Awesome. I didn't say that says a lot about you, and again, I know, because you even learn from your competitors.
Yep, exactly.
And I've always seen that and I've been to one of the awards night with you, and I can see how you interact with the competition as well, because you have such a one industry, one family approach.
Correct.
You might be fiercely competing, which is great, but then obviously outside that, you're really good friends with them. So that's again a good strategy. And again, people are taking notes. Note that as well. Okay, so you've done that. Now, your business is quite busy. You got a team. So tell us about a typical day at KM Finance.
I wake around this winter times. I wake around 5:10, 5:15. Do a bit of yoga in the morning every second day. Do exercise, a bit walking, which is not jogging. I would say just walking at 6 kilometers in 45 minutes. And then after that, I start my day with a few stretches or whatever, and the physio watching. And then after that, I have a look before my team comes in. We've got a team of 3. We'll have a team of another 4. We'll have one more person joining us. And so we try to look at what we can do better, what is priority, what is non-priority, what has to be done today, what can be done tomorrow. So we work on that, and then by the time my manager comes in, and then we work on all those things. So it starts at 6 and finishes around 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Every day, for 5 days at least. On Saturday, it's a 8-hour shift.
And I think some of your team members are also overseas. And they work in different time zones. So and that's one of the keys. I think you can serve the customer even before after hours in Australia, and that's a really good point. So that's now, Kris, how much has the business grown over the years?
We have reached 100 million. We are very happy now.
That's 100 million year return
per year. Yeah. So we have reached 100 million per now we are doing it per year, and we are running consistent numbers. In brokers, the numbers consistent is very important.
Yes.
And also there's growth. So there's new people coming into our business. It's not only retaining the old ones, but new people are coming in. So which is very positive for us.
Correct. So then the industry growth is well and truly replicated in your business.
Yeah.
So you are actually claiming a good share of that growth in the industry. Yeah. That's fabulous. So what are the things you've done or you are doing to keep that growth happening?
First of all, always when we have a new client, we always try to make their journey easy.
Yeah.
They're not stressed about it. We also give them a deadline, like this will happen on this day. Approximately, we'll have unconditional this day. We'll look at another bank for an option just to add a little bit. Also, we use WhatsApp and text message just to keep them updated on things, keep them on rate payments, what is the lender's mortgage, all of that we package and put it so the customer is easy, relaxed. We try to make them like you're on a plane ride.
Mm-hmm.
We try to give them the orange juice and everything on time.
Good analogy. Yeah.
And the plane can land safe.
Land safe. Perfect. Now that's pretty good. And look, I'm a customer myself, and I can totally vouch for that. And I think I also like your keyword touch point. You really have good touch points, and you go over and above to communicate with the customer. And especially the customers who are families, the husband, wife.
Correct.
You always make sure that you are addressing both of them equally, regardless of whether both are earning members or not. And that says a lot about your values and how you've been brought up. So your parents have done well. Yeah, good. And I can see what you're doing for your children as well. So that's fabulous. Now, again, so you've already given me what makes your business stand out and all. So now you won several awards. Now viewers can visit Kris's website and you can see award after award after award. And he's been consistently winning and, excelling. He's doing his own PBs, exceeding his own PBs, personal best every year. So what is the key to those awards?
The key to those awards is on-time delivery.
On-time delivery.
Consistent performance.
Yes.
Try not to leave anything for last moment. Always be proactive, not reactive.
No surprises.
No surprises.
Yeah.
And always we think if the client is a first homeowner or investor, what would he like as a service?
Correct.
And that's what we try to give them.
Oh, fabulous. Yeah. Excellent. That's pretty good. Now, again, as I said, that makes you and the business stand out. And I think also people dealing with your team members also get a very consistent service. So obviously you're training your team quite well. So what is the future for KM Finance looking like?
The future for us will be that we want to continue work at growth at this level.
Yes.
And continue to be a competitor, continue to turn over same or more volumes, but continue. Main thing is to make the client feel special and deliver always on time. That would be the same thing to hold the policy. I'm sorry, not the policy, but hold the service at the highest level.
Fabulous. And I think that's what a journey, Kris, it's been. And I think no journey or stories without any learnings for self and others. Now we'll talk about the self first. Now you look at the younger Kris Menon playing soccer in Talegaon, in a sort of a small town in Maharashtra near Pune. What advice would you give Kris Menon, the younger Kris Menon?
I always say to myself that you should keep on dreaming. You should keep on keeping the dreams alive.
Yes.
And you will achieve your goal if your thought process and your mindset is always every day wake up in the morning and think like that will be the best.
So you probably will tell the younger Kris Menon, might just get up, keep dreaming. So obviously you would have second guessed yourself back then. Now you would say don't second guess, you were right all the time.
Correct.
What a thing nice is it. Now let's talk about the other people who are listening. So if there are people, viewers who want to get into the mortgage industry and maybe follow your path of your success or similar, what advice would you give people who want to become a mortgage broker?
So first of all, get the policies right, get the process right, stick to the same process, don't try to deviate from the process.
Yes.
Work on your strong points and work on your weak points too.
Yes.
So make it stronger. And the weak points, keep on working by asking the right questions and follow by following up. So that model will work over time. You have to give it a little bit of time, and then people will start chasing you for to do their loans, because start trusting your way of working.
So I think what you also did was, from your story, you worked part-time for some time.
Exactly right.
And then when you were comfortable, you jumped.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And I think we were talking offline, and you said if you want to own a cafe, work in a cafe.
Exactly.
Cafe in all the roles. And I think that's what you did. So I like that analogy you said in the past. So that's pretty good. Now we're coming to almost to the end of this interview. So I want to know, as a person, Kris Menon, hey, what is your philosophy in life which has served you well?
My philosophy in life is, if you can help people in their journey, in their studies, so only if I have it, I can do it.
Yes.
So I would like to have it to do it.
You're perfect. So have it, do it, and then share with others.
Share.
Perfect. That's pretty good. So listeners, that's Kris Menon's philosophy, and it's worked for him well. So well done. So now in the last segment, I would give you the opportunity to plug your business. Not that you need much plugging. You're doing really well with your marketing. But for those who are watching this podcast, how can they reach you? Those who want home loans or refinance, how can they find you, Kris? KM Finance.
We've got a very good website.
Yes.
And that's there. So we are available on all types of, what do you say? How do you put it?
Social media.
Social media. So we are available on all social media. We have got active Facebook, active LinkedIn, active. So we put a lot of data information to it. So you will be able to just press Kris Menon or KM Finance and you will be able to get us here.
Yeah, and I think your kids look after social media well, and Kunal is behind this camera as well.
Absolutely.
Done a fabulous job with the shots on TikTok, which obviously like people are reaching out and
Yep.
we're getting a lot of business from that. So I hope you're giving him a percentage.
We are.
Good. So I think I've also seen some of your Google reviews that they're doing pretty well. So Kris, what are the interview? And I think I've known you for so many years, almost like a big brother. But again, this interview has given me so much more. And I think there is a lot of Kris Menon left to learn from is what I get out of this. So thank you so much for coming on Chat with the Champions. I thoroughly enjoyed this interview. I thoroughly enjoyed interviewing a champion like you. It was also a very good community hero, and I've seen you sponsor so many community events. And that brings back to that Kris Menon who was sharing, I'm going to Australia, we would like to come, and you've done so much like that and that's probably what brings you all the blessings and a very successful business and also a great family. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Raman, so much. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you for watching us on Chat with the Champions, and we'll come to you with another episode.